gonna get cloudy. Maybe get some snow, so I gotta run get some fuel for my skidoo, and just in case I need the generator, fill a couple of cans, so you'll get out, go for a quick little ride to the store. It's sunny and nice. It's a little ways to go, but I think quad ride will be okay yet today. Put on my big mitts so my hands don't get cold. We're just going to cut across country, and going to just run down to the store. So, it's a quick trip. There, it's under. I can put a block behind the wheel. I think I can roll it ahead a little bit. There, it'll stay there. It'll stay there. I'll come out, take the battery out of it, because they don't like sitting in the cold, so I'll take the battery out and put it in the shop where it's warm, but it's there. Get hooked back on my trailer and other things to do. But yeah, a couple days of sunshine, and then we're supposed to get 3 days of snow. So how much snow we're gonna get, we're not quite sure. So I want to haul a couple of wagon loads of wood here and fill up the wood box in the shop there. It'll hold a couple of good wagon loads. So start storming, I don't have to do it in the storm. So see how it goes. But if it don't get too cold, I'll use the quad here. I'm gonna move these plywoods and put my ladder over where I might need it, or in the shop, and then I can put about 15 or 20 loads with the wagon in there to fill that right up. So little things like that I'm not quite done yet, but we're getting there, so see how it goes. Yes, thanks again, Glenn. That is one awesome tool. I use it till my arm gets tired. But boy, it's nice to just pick them up a little without bending all the way over. You don't have to hit it very hard with that little curl in there. Grabs on. And save the back. Finish getting the load on, we'll take it over, get it in the shop. If you're new to my channel, this is not cheating what I'm doing, but I'm getting just getting geared up, kind of prepared. You'll see. Hey girl, you gotta get out of the way. Yes, it's called getting ready, filling the wood box up. Now that over there is my wood box in the corner. So that's what I do to fill it up. If the weather's nice and I don't mind leaving the garage door open, my fire starter out of the way. Of course, I got sawdust from the sawmill and used oil. Mix it up a little bit, but this wood in particular was not covered with plywood. So it kind of got snowed on a little there and rained on a little and rained on a little, and it's damp, so I'm going to get it back in here so it can start to dry out over the next few days. As the weather turns colder, we'll have lots of dry wood in the shop. It's dry wood, but it's just rained on a little. I'm going to just keep piling, and we'll show you a little along the way. Now, I always keep a few big ones separate, just to make sure for night, or I want the fire to burn longer all day. I put big round ones in this stove. Well, kiddies, you might have to give up your bed so I can put wood up there. I have a cushion on that shelf. It's a little cooler. The cats love it up there. It's nice and warm in the shop. Not far from the stove, so that's kind of their bed. Well, boy, this is cutting her pretty close. I'm going to make a pile over here. Not too many. This is about too big of a load this trip. some of these will get used up. Well, that was a nice wagon load. So, yeah, bounced that wood all around, but that is full. Nice pile in there. But I'll throw a few in the stove tonight. And so yeah, I'm not gonna use the pickup, but last year if I had the pickup out, was gone to town, then I'd just load a big pile on tailgate, back it in here, or even drive it straight in when it was cold. I just park it further ahead and I could just pack the wood around, fill the wood box. If I'm out with the skidoo and hauling back and forth, well, I can come in this door here and fill it up, but that's enough for 4 or 5 days, 6 days, so that's the way I do it. A little bit at a time. Well, get some potatoes in the pan. Put a little salt. And a little pepper. I'm going to have some sausages on the go here. Oh, a couple of really nice soft eggs on top of the potatoes. To spill that yolk. And you gotta just, instead of cheese, you can just poke that yolk, spread it around, make a hole in it. Well, I'm gonna just sit down and enjoy my breakfast. So catch you guys out around the corner. Now when I'm cutting wood, I put some of these bigger rounds, kind of see how big they are, you know, 9-10 inches. I like that in my stove in the shop, burns nice big wood like that, and then it lasts all night. If you cut it too small, it doesn't last very long. Burns hot, but it all burns up too quick. So I can go up to 12.5 inches. Look at that little fucking roof. No ones are froze together. I actually have a little something that I want to show you guys that I've been wanting to buy, that every off-gridder should own. But I just haven't had time with everything going on, so let's go over by the shop and show you a little something here. Well, just so happens I have an axe handy. I'm going to do this on the ground. I'm not going to use a chopping block. It's gravel. I should use a chopping block. maybe I'll use this one for now. It's not a very big axe. I don't really have a big splitting axe, and if I have a lot of big wood, I don't use the axe. My back don't do that. So let's just open this up. Now this is dried for, I'll tell you how long. Go back to the video. I had a big load of wood in my yard. Oh, let's cheat here. Be careful like that. But yeah, this little axe is only, I think it's 2 pounds. Not very heavy. This block was green last year, but actually it's probably pretty wet because it was sitting right there in the corner of the roof, was dripping on it. Oh, made a little crack in it. By geez. Yeah, if you're off grid, you gotta have one of these. Definitely. Now we have 3 different kinds of wood. In my pocket, I have a little tool. So sponsoring here today's video, we have a Tesman company. Tesman, they make electronic devices. I have another little device I'm going to show you that these off-gridders like me, always playing around, building things, should use. But this is, you probably guessed, I'm splitting wood. It's a tester. So let's turn it on. Now, let's go to this really wet spruce. It was green last year. Now let's stick it here somewhere kind of close in the middle. Wow. Actually got to bring you guys over for a look. That was green last year. And I don't want to go right in the center because it could be a tiny bit moist in that rot. But if we go in here and we stick it in, we are showing 19.6%. And that is kind of surprised me. I didn't think it would dry out that much. I'm sitting here in the sunshine. Now this here block is kind of twisty. I thought it was tamarack, but it is spruce. It was dead standing. We're going to go right in the center and stick that in there. Well, we got to... It said low. Let's see what. Let's measure. So when it says low, I think we're pretty dry. Yeah, I actually got it to test. It says low, but it actually tested and said that it was 8. Now let's check this one here. Now that says 11. So that was absolutely green poplar. It was cut 2 years ago, and then it was cut in blocks and stacked up like that. So it's just one row so that the sun can get at it. So, you know, year and a half, depending on when you cut it. And I tried to do it early in the spring. So it's generally dry enough to that 16% by December. So if you get another good sunny dry summer like we kind of had, then she just dries out a little more. So thanks to Tesman, they sent me this and something else I'll show you in a bit. But I've always wanted to go and buy one, and I forget about it whenever I'm in, and I do a lot of wood, and just to see what standing dead spruce is like that was just cut, and she's dry, less than 8%, but it burns nice. Good morning. We're just back out at the woodshed here. I wanted to just do a little checking with this little tool here. the Tasman company sent me this little tool, and I've always wanted to buy one just to verify the moisture in. I usually cut dry wood. It looks dry, it feels dry. That's what I always burn, but we're at the woodshed here. We're going to just check a few blocks, and some different ones here can kind of surprise me actually, that the moisture is still at 13.4. Most of this is at 13.4. I have some here that's 11.5. This was some poplar that was cut where it was after fired burnt a year after, and then some of this. Now if you look, I'm poking it by the edge of the block. This has been dry for a while. It's 12.8, but if we dig into the center, well, I guess the center is showing that we're 12.1. So this has been in the woodshed now here for 2 years, and so over on this side they send instructions, and I think there's 3 or 4 different languages. It's very simple. It kind of tells you different steps here, and what your moisture level is, above 24%, below 24%. The little screen that's green shows up a different color. It'll be orange background, or it'll get down to green. If it's green, you pretty much know you have dry wood. But pretty good little instructions the way they're laid out. They're a simple tool to run. Have some poplar here. See that? It turned orange. We're at 15.8. I threw this in here. This will be next year's wood. And well, there's one there. See, 14, it stays green. But as soon as you go to higher levels, it actually turns orange. So at around the 15, yeah, 15, 9, 16, that one turned orange. And oh, that one's at 15.1. So that's why I like to put it in the shed and keep it in the shed for a couple of years. It's usually dry when I get it. This stuff back here is actually at 12. So it varies. Some of it's really dry that I bring in, and some of it's a little wetter. But I'm going to leave a link below. I have other tools that Tasman has sent me a couple to review. A couple of tools that I will use around the homestead here that I never had before. And I will leave a link in the description. They're not very expensive. I probably should have bought one a long time ago just to go through some of this milling, checking the moisture on the siding that I put on the cabin. You know, it's just lumber that I cut, but if there's too much moisture, you're going to get more shrinkage and stuff. So even using it at the cabin, you know, build it, sawmill stuff, just to see how dry the lumber is before you use it. Just a handy little tool that I've never had in my toolbox before. So to thank the Tasman company. And this is a TWM 186 wood moisture meter. So but we will have the link in the description, as well as another little tool here we're going to show you. So just show a bit later.